How daunting is the task for the next president? I hear because I'm sorry. Let's leave it a bit. I hear that we've got four candidates, vying for that position. Main candidates, all the other candidates, according to people. Anyways, I'm not supposed to say that. But yeah, I hear we've got four main candidates vying for that position. How daunting is the task for whomever gets to win come 2023? How daunting is that task? How daunting? Right, I'll take my first call now. I missed it. Sorry, I talk so much. Remember, you can send your WhatsApp and text messages to the number 0809 0306416. Once again, 0809 0306416. Let's take this one. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yes, I am Mr. Ken calling them.
All right, Ken, welcome. So, what's your take? Let's talk.
Yes, the problem we have in this country is that of implementation.
All right.
Government has so many policies, but implementation and follow-up is the problem we have. And that is the product of corruption. Even when the fund is released, those that are supposed to handle it will put it in their own pocket, and nothing will happen at the end of it. So until we have leaders who are committed, leaders who are not like the ones we have today, the problem of poverty will continue to increase. That is my take.
All right, thank you very much for that take. Let's take this other one. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Let's talk.
I want to remain anonymous.
You want to remain anonymous? All right, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. I want to my input this eradication of poverty is not by putting out some programs that are not substantial, like the school, like the school feeding program will not in any way address poverty issue. What is the definition of poverty? Who is poor and who is not poor? Abraham Maslow designed a pyramid called the necessary things, or the basic things that every human being should have. Whoever does not have that basic thing can be classified as poverty, as a poor
person.
So these basic things include food, shelter, and all of that. So for me, having doing school feed program will not address the issue of poverty, because when you feed me today, you feed me tomorrow. Will you feed me next tomorrow?
All right. Okay. Now, anonymous. I don't want to go back to what was. I'm talking about the future now. We're looking at the future. The elections are in 2023. Hopefully, there will surely be a new president. How daunting is that task? How difficult is that task for the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to, of course, eradicate poverty? Given that even the Bible will tell you that the poor will always be with us.
Please, can you come again?
I'm saying how difficult will it be for the next president? I'm not looking at the current now. I'm looking at the next president. How difficult will it be for the next president to tackle poverty?
Okay. If the oncoming president is selfless and determined to work, this is as simple. They are not rocket science. See, you do programs and policies, programs that are targeted to the people, and make sure that those bottlenecks and bureaucracy around these programs will not prevail.
All right.
Programs that you monitor, make sure that this program address the need of people. Not programs that you will do some programs and policies and you allow some high-placed individuals, some political mandarin and juggernauts to hijack the
All right.
program.
All right. I get your point.
They use it to settle themselves within the political zone.
All right. I get your point. I've got to go.
And again, I don't know how possible. I don't know when this country will start having database.
All right.
Can't we have database?
A
Database that will give accurate record of people, people and their respective socio-economic classes.
All right.
Their sex, female and male, fatality and mortality rate will be recorded. Can't we do that so that we can move to the next level?
I'm sure we can. I've got to take another call. Thank you very much for your time. Obina from Eliozu, welcome.
The man of the people.
I greet you, Obina. The people's choice. Welcome.
Let me commend you first. I like the last program you did with the barrister.
All right.
Because a lot of things is going wrong. Do you know that currently how much Nigeria is owing China will not stop the issue of this poverty? The current president now have impoverished the country called Nigeria by borrowing that huge amount of money. And anybody that is entering as president will suffer it.
All right.
This flood enough. Do you know that this flood enough is causing more harm? Federal government don't want to look into it. Look at the IDP camps they created. How people are being suffered by the same people claim they are leaders. I don't think poverty in Nigeria will stop because the leaders of this country have already created poverty. This is man-made poverty. When a particular group of military will raid a community and burn people's house and people will run away, do you know the kind of poverty they're creating? I'm telling you, we are here blaming police and others in it. My brother, people are very poor. Currently, people are hungry. I'm telling you. Most of
do you think the current Obina, do you think the current data or statistics captures the real amount of poor people in Nigeria? Do you think it does?
You know that they are rating India as the poorest country, but Nigeria is the poorest. They are creating more poverty in this country by using the way they are doing. People are not going to access their farm because of
All
cattle.
right.
Do you know the kind of poverty they are creating now?
All right.
They are interested in cattle business, but people are running away from the farm.
All right.
People are not farming again.
Obina, I've got to let you go.
People that is bringing food, they are not going to farm again.
All right. I've got you.
They are creating more poverty.
I've got to let you go.
You're talking about police arresting people. Nigerian military is doing the work.
All right. Thank you very much. We're not talking about the military now. Thank you very much, Obina. I've got to let you go. My time is almost up. I've just been informed by the sports crew that it will soon be time for us to bring your way live commentary from Qatar as Germany's playing very shortly. So I should be. Can I take one more call? One more call, please. Thank you very much, Kosi. Kosi is a gentleman. I missed the one more call, but this one says. Afternoon, KD. It will be a very uphill task for the incoming government to tackle poverty in Nigeria. I hope as they are making promises now, they won't complain when they get into power. I don't want to hear excuses like the previous government this, the previous government that. If they think the task is too hard, this is the time to back off. Dave from Port Harcourt. But that's the most I can take. Who's Germany playing? Japan. Oh, Japan. All right, it's going to be an interesting match. Over to Kosi and Dorcas as to bring you live commentary from Qatar. All right. Good afternoon.
Well, next up is an interlude for the observance of the national anthems. Doha is looking right as rain and ready to host two teams that, by and large, when you look at the quality within the sides, really will be something to behold. It is national anthem. Hey, respect that living song as loudly as in Doha. We was in Berlin, Leipzig, Dortmund, cross the for the Japanese national anthem. The anthems over on with and up to the lineups. Starting with Germany. It's a 4-1 setup for Hansi Flick. Manuel Neuer captain. Starting goal. Niklas Süle has alongside Antonio Rüdiger and Nico Schlotterbeck, as well as David Raum in the back four for the Germans. Joshua Kimmich, Ilkay Gundogan sit deep in midfield, allowing Thomas Müller to patrol in an advanced position. Serge Gnabry and Jamal Musiala, as well as Kai Havertz, fulfill the rest of the attacking personnel for the Germans. Japan led by Maya Yoshida, who plays his club football in Germany for Schalke. It's Shuichi Gonda, the goalkeeper. Hugo Nakamoto, Ka Itakura, Maya Yoshida, Hiroki Sakai in defense. Eyo Tanaka and Wataru Endo sitting deeper in the base of midfield. Dachi Kamada is the attacking midfielder. Take starts from the left of the Japan attack, while Yunja Ito is on the right. Leading the line for the Southeast Asians is Dazen Maeda. Well, in prospect, Dockers, this looks like it will be an all-German affair, but considering the quality within the ranks of the Japanese, Germany may not really find this as easy as the bookmakers have been tipping.
Oh yeah, you could say that. Germany, they've got, no, rather, a Japanese team. They do have some quality and pacey players in their ranks as well. You can talk about Ito and Kubo. You know, they have the experience and they are quite fast when it comes to using the wings, and that could happen against Germany. And looking at the fact that they do have, really good attackers. Yoshida is leading the lines and all that. You should know that he is going to try to unsettle the German defense. So, of course, the German defense will have to make sure that they can hold their own defensively, not letting the Germans, the Japanese team, come at them with the speed and the force that they do have and possess. But you know that they don't have the best of start heading into this game. That's for the Japanese side. They don't know how to hold your own. They always can seem to get to win the first match, except last time we did in Russia 2018. So against Germany, they will want to be looking at their options, trying to see if they can get another win today against a very big side like Germany. But let's see how that's going to pan out. But for all we know, in football, you never write anyone off, and Japan could just do something today.
Absolutely. Seen a shock of epic proportions in the World Cup Qatar 2022. Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. Referee for this fixture is Ivan Aced Spartan Cineros from El Salvador, and all eyes on him now to sound his whistle to signal the commencement of this prestigious fixture. Kai Havertz is in the centre circle, and the Germans get the honours of passing for kickoff, and the match is on the way. Germany in their traditional white tops and black shorts, defending towards the left and attacking towards the right. It's Japan also clad in their traditional blue tops and white shorts, doing the reverse. defensively positioned to the right and offensively headed towards the left.
Japan tried to make sure that they can hold up Germany today. Yes, the game just started, so we haven't seen as much as possible. We haven't seen the passes, we haven't seen the quality from the players just yet. But Germany would have to make sure that they can quickly transition the ball from the back to the forward line as much as possible to get the goals as early as much as they can. They don't have a typical number 9, using Kai Havertz as a number 9 today, and that could tell a lot. With Thomas Muller back in the squad, let's see what Thomas Muller can decide to get today against Germany.
Minutes in, absolutely. It's the ball really bobbling in and around the center circle as both teams continue to debate who will get a hold of it. Manuel Neuer. Now the Germans looking to break away through the midfield. It's intercepted. It's pretty frantic stuff in the opening minutes. But here come Germany making incursions into the Japan box. It's very well dealt with, cleared away, and it's going to be a throw for Germany.
Serge Gnabry, you know that he's got the strength, he's got the agility to muzzle out the Japanese players today, and he has shown that right now with that throwing that he won just right now for Germany, and Germany are still going for, and I see they can get the first goal of the game.
Muller. All the way back to Rudiger. Rudiger finds Schlotterbeck. Here the Germans come, cleared away by Yoshida. All the way into the half of the Germans, where Manuel Neuer has arrived to pick up the throw. Yes, the Japan bench looks on. Rudiger lays it on for his goalkeeper, who lets it run for Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck finds David Raum. It's a new look German defense from the World Cups of old. No Matt Hummels, no Jerome Boateng, of course. But quality still not in doubt. And of the traditional countries of the World Cup. Only Brazil have one more than they have. They have 4 World Cup titles to their name. And look across the crests on their vest, you will see 4 stars adequately representing that.
It makes sense. It makes sense a lot. If they could get to the final this year and probably win it for themselves, they would have to equal the Brazil record. But it's going to be a long journey. It's just their first game at the World Cup, and they would have to get past the first hurdle, which is Japan today, and they would have to put a lot of shifts. Let's see what they can get out from this game before we talk about getting to the round of 16 and then, of course, the finals.
It's a race for the ball between Antonio Rudiger and Daisen Maeda. In the end, Rudiger deals with it momentarily. The Japanese showing the full force of pace we know they possess. But it's Germany who will enjoy a goal kick. As Raum finds Gundogan at the base of his own area. Back to Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger finds Niklas Süle. Kimmich. Well, it's a mixed passing. Kamada can speed away for the Southeast Asians, who are looking for a cross into the box. Is out for a corner kick. And the foray into the German area is blessed with a set-piece situation where the Blues can look to cause a massive upset from the corner kick angle.
Talked about the pace of Ito, and he just showed that the Japanese side have got the pace and they can use the wings pretty much. And defensively, the likes of Rudiger, Süle, and David Raum would have to make sure they can hold off the wing players from getting to their 18-yard box.
Corner kick is taking. It's an outswinger headed away by Serge Gnabry. Out for a Japan throw. Not a lot separating the two sides as we speak. Hansi Flick is looking on. Germany were shocked by Southeast Asian opponents at the last World Cup in Russia, losing 2-0 to South Korea to effectively bid the tournament goodbye. Rudiger, long clearance, searching for once upon a time club teammate in Kai Havertz. out for a German throw. Well, still talking about Japan and their journey so far, the World Cup. They have won only one of their last 8 matches at the FIFA World Cup, drawing 3 and losing 4. Last that win, solitary win, came in the 2018 World Cup, a 2-1 victory over Colombia. Rudiger. Neuer would have to scramble for the clearance as the Japanese were bearing down through Dazen Maeda. Not a lot of quality, we have to say, after 6 minutes of play.
I will agree. I haven't seen that quality from the Germans as well. They've got lots of fabulous players in their ranks, but they haven't shown the quality that they possess, and that seems to be a worry. For Japan, we've already seen how pacey they can be, how they can attack, how they're transitioning from the defense to the attack, and I think that's going to work for them. And they've been trying to hold their own defensively against the Germans. So let's see how far the Germans will go without showing the quality that they possess.
Niklas Sula. Well, it's Karl Havertz showing a burst of pace to prevent the ball from going out to touch for a Japan goal kick. Instead, the number 7 kicks it out for a throw, which by his calculations obviously is better than having Yuichi Gonda make a long clearance from the goal line for the Japanese. Here is Nagamoto. Well, it's still in and around the Japan area. They're struggling for the clearance. Joshua Kimmich. Ilkay Gundogan gets involved. Gundogan spinning his marker, loses the ball. Now Japan can break away on a counter-attack. It's a 4 against 4 situation. The Japanese incursing from the right, and Japan will get the goal. Well, the celebrations have to be paused. Well, the linesman has his flag up, and Dazen Maeda and possibly have to wait for the video assistant referee to have a say. But we're starting to have a look at the replays now. And deadly on the counter, you have to say, Docus.
Exactly what you expect from the Japanese side. From the counter, the transition is straight on to attack. Sending the ball straight to Maeda, who was slightly offside when he started that ball nicely past Manuel Neuer to get the first goal of the game, but rightfully chopped off by the assistant referee.
Well, from the naked eye, you cannot really make arguments against that. It's clearly an offside situation, but that's a warning shot for the Germans. A little bit too casual in midfield. Their pockets picked. Japan raced forward and breached the net. And of course, the referee deemed Dazen Maeda to have drifted into an offside situation, and quite rightly so. Maeda, the number 25. Plays his club footballing Scotland for Celtic, and for his 9th appearance for Japan, would have been his 2nd goal in total if it weren't for the assistant referee's flag.
Exactly, that was a saving grace for Germany. We got to see France trail yesterday against Australia, but then came back to win 4-1. Got 2 goals from Olivier Giroud. He equaled Thierry Henry's goal scored for the France side. And here we are, looking at Japan getting the first goal, chopped up by the video by the assistant referee for offside. They look good. Germany would have to hold stronger and be defensively solid to avert such things happening again in the first half.
It's Raum, who's won a throwing for Germany, back into Schlotterberg. Here is Kimmich. Options arriving. Germany taking time to size up the Japanese, forced to retreat once again, all the way to their own goalkeeper, who sets it on for Nico Schlotterberg once again. Here is Antonio Rudiger into Niklas Sula. Back to Rudiger. Schlotterberg can advance the Germans forward. That's a long grasping ball. Looking to pick out Serge Gnabry. Out of touch. Thumbs up for the intention. The execution not so much. As Nagatomo has the ball in hand. The Japanese at number 5. Waiting for arriving options to settle the throw for.
The four-time World Cup champions, Germany, I think they're pretty much laid back and haven't asserted any control in the game just yet. They seem to be, they seem to lack that urgency, and I haven't seen that at all so far. In about 11 minutes of game time played out there in Doha, we haven't seen that. They would have to assert the authority, the control, how they pass the ball. They should be decisive on what they need to do with the ball. Too many misplaced passes isn't good enough for Germany at this time against Japan.
Well, if you're just joining in, this is 92.3 Nigeria Info's commentary coverage of Germany versus Japan from the Khalifa Stadium in the Qatari capital of Doha. Here is Ilkay Gundogan. Well, that's across eventually into the Japan area, which they deal with as they're speeding away. It's Junior Ito, taken care of by Antonio Rudiger. Here is Joshua Kimmich. Into Raum, back to Schlotterberg. Kimmich making himself available. Ball is in and around the centre arc as we speak. Coming towards the right for Rudiger, who switches it on to Schlotterberg. Now Raum, advancing forward. Now the Germans are making some progress towards the Japanese area. He's crowded out. It's eventually cleared away. It's Jamal Musiala who was on hand at the time to push the Germans forward from the left. And from the look of the faces of the fans, they're less than impressed, typifying what we've been talking about, which is a bit of a lack of quality being shown by the almighty Germans.
I feel their frustration. They have a squad that should be able to have, scored about 2 games and 2 goals in this game so far against Japan, but they haven't done that. They haven't even gotten to the 18-yard box, so, as being clinical in front of goal against Japan, and that seemed to be a worry, not just for Hansi Flick, but for the fans as well, because it could be flashback to what happened in Russia 2018.
Finished bottom of the group. Unbelievable at the time for a defending champion and Russia. But here is Schlotterberg. Raum is making the overlapping run, well dealt with by Hiroki Sakai. Long ball forward. Antonio Rudiger had Dyson Maeda for company. Let it run across his body for his own goalkeeper, who simply lays it on for Sula. Gnabry. Back to Sula. The Germans enjoying some dominance in possession, but not necessarily creating a lot with it. The Japanese content with sitting back, hoping to pick them out on the counter. They nearly did that to full effect through Dyson Maeda, but eventually was cancelled for the forward player being in an offside position. Here's Jamal Musiala. Give and go. Well, it was an attempted shot by Joshua Kimmich. Well defended. Germans back in control.
The Germans are trying all they can to go forward, which of course they are doing nicely, but somehow have been pocketed a little bit by the defense of the Japan. And Japan are making sure that they can hold your own, solidify the defense. They're all coming back to try to defend. And like you said, counter-attack when they've got the chance against Germany. We've seen that, of course, where the goal was just chopped off. So I think for Germany, they would have to find those pocket of spaces left by the Japanese side to use that against them.
Japan, it's at this moment in time led by coach Hajime Moriyasu, born on the 23rd of August 1968, which makes him 54 years old. Once a player himself for the Japanese national team between 1992 and 1996, winning 35 caps, scoring once in a friendly against Australia in February of 1996. Appointed coach after the 2018 World Cup in Russia, where he was an assistant to his predecessor, Akira Nishino. He would have a few things to worry about. His number 19, Sakai, the right fullback, has got himself injured in an entanglement with Raum. The Japanese will be hoping it's not too serious, and it's probably so, as he's already back on his feet, ready to participate once more in the Japanese cause. Corner kick won by Kai Havertz, Germany to take.
Germany to take. Germany seemed to be getting the right things done, but haven't been able to send the ball straight into the middle of the pack to get a head or a leg towards the ball into the back of the net, and that seemed to be the major worry for Germany. But Kai Havertz seemed to be working so hard, mostly not at the place at the right time, but corner one and to be taken.
Joshua Kimmich bears the number 6 jersey on the far left hand side, which is the position of the corner kick. It's going to send an in-swinger. Try to pick out Schlotterberg, who has arrived alongside Rudiger. The Germans have a bit of height, considering also the presence of Kai Havertz. Schlotterberg. Take Kubo keeping nice on the centre-back as Joshua Kimmich sends the corner kick in. It meets Antonio Rudiger. Just glances wide of Shushiganda's goal. This is the closest the Germans have come to finding a goal in this fixture.
The closest so far from Germany, and a very placed corner kick by Kimmich here, straight on to the head of Anthony Rudiger, who got the ball straight off from his head, but just couldn't position it straight to the goalpost, just inches away from the goalpost. Not exactly perturbing the goalkeeper, but it was a good try, and I think with that they could get the first goal if they continue the way that they have in the last 5 minutes.
Maya Yoshida, great composure to cut inside when under pressure. As goalkeeper Gonda was looking to pick out Dachai Kamada on the far left. The Germans would thwart the channel. Musela couldn't keep possession. Ball is lost into Maya Yoshida. Down to Gonda, the goalkeeper. Spreads it out wide. Hiroki Sakai would attempt to keep it in play. Brilliant move. Also, I thought, from Japan. Halted even before they could go across the halfway line as Germany recoup possession. And will be looking as well to continue plotting the downfall of their Asian opponents. Neuer. Now Rudiger. Still Manuel Neuer. Finds Niklas Süle of Borussia Dortmund. And here is Real Madrid's Rudiger. Well, Manuel Neuer made history at the World Cup in 2014, competing with midfielders for passes completed. Famed for getting involved in the play. He pretty much has as well in this fixture against Japan. 36 years of age now. You can imagine this probably would be his last affair at a FIFA World Cup. Is Neuer, the captain of both Germany and Bayern Munich. Once finishing third behind Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in the voting for the Ballon d'Or. Made his World Cup bow in 2010 and has played in every edition since then, including the 2014 edition, which they won. Yet the Germans come looking for the route one option. Free kick to Japan.
That was a really good ball from the back line, straight through pass, straight on finding, Kai Havertz, who had to make sure that he got the ball straight back into play, not letting it go out for a goal kick for Japan. But they just couldn't utilize the opportunity given to them in face of goal, and it was properly averted until Kai Havertz considered a free kick in favor of Japan.
Long ball forward. Jamal Musiala. Schlotterberg. Lots of possession. Sterile possession, you'd have to say, for the Germans. A lot of it happening also in their own half of the pitch. Mostly between Süle, Rudiger and Schlotterberg. Unable to show the same amount of composure when arriving in the Japanese side of the pitch. But here they come through David Raum. That's better from the Germans. And Kimmich forces a save. And the follow-up is blazed over the bar. And there could be more than just a missed opportunity for Gundogan, who's still down on the turf, racing in pain and clutching just across his laces of the right boot, which is black and lemon in color.
That was good play from the Germans once again. This time the ball from Rama found Gunuhan. Gunuhan then found the ball straight into the middle of the pack. And there was a shot taken at the time. But the goalkeeper for Japan had to punch that out. Falling nicely and kindly for Gunuhan once again until the Japanese defender came off his foot while trying to save the ball. And this time it was Gunuhan who sent the ball inches over the goalpost, not disturbing the goalkeeper at the time.
Japan survive. It's the most inventive play the Germans have manufactured while on the attack. First was a shot from Kimmich, a follow-up from Ilkay Gundogan. Had their pockets have been picked, and that was a chance for Japan to hurt them once again on the counter. Kamada once again seeking out Dazan Maeda, but for the brilliant interception by Antonio Rudiger, Japan probably would have been in with a chance of getting ahead on the score sheet.
Rudiger anticipated that move from Kamada while he was trying to get the ball to Maeda. Anticipated it pretty well, got his legs out to send it rightfully out for a corner kick in favor of Japan.
Corner. Japan in charge of it. Yoshida, Endo, Maeda all in the box, anticipating. They choose to play it short, and in comes the cross eventually. It was off Ko Itakura eventually. Too tame to even worry. Manuel Neuer in the German goal. But a bit of invention you'd still have to admit from the Japanese players. As the Germans were waiting for the long one, they chose to play it short.
Oh yeah, the long one didn't exactly favor them. They don't exactly have the height to help with headers, but the Germans do. So you could see that they had to defend that set piece properly. So the Japanese couldn't deal properly with that ball, and rightfully so won a goal kick for the Germans, who have taken already.
22 minutes played. Germany 0, Japan 0. We have to be honest, hold our hands up and admit the game hasn't lit up the atmosphere as we would have wanted. But still lots of minutes to play. And here is Serge Gnabry down the right. Sula joins the conversation. Back to Gnabry. Hard for a Germany throw, which Sula would take. Cutting an isolated figure down on the right hand of the German attack. Not his best position, usually more advanced towards the left for Serge Gnabry.
I don't think he's enjoying where he's currently playing for Germany today by the right hand, by the right side of things. And Muller just in between himself and Jamal Musiala hasn't been quite eventful for Serge Gnabry. And I think he's having issues, or he's not exactly enjoying where he is playing. But other than that, I do think that the German side should have shown the quality that they already possess. They're not playing us, the German side, we would say. But you could also say they are in transition, so this was expected.
Serge Gnabry most certainly is a different breed from the player who wasn't trusted at Arsenal. Fortunes very well remarkably changed, but here is Muller looking to pick out Kai Havertz. Schlotterberg runs across to prevent a Japan counter-attack, but here is Havertz. Can he keep it in play? It's dealt with by Ko Itakura. Danger not completely averted. And the Japanese see the throwing. Sakai, the number 19, knocking it out of play. Throw is taken. Referee seems to have a bit of a problem with it. Not sure exactly what the call is for, but is asked Ram to retake. And Ram is going to have to do a quick throw in a second one in succession. Plays his club football Ram at RB Leipzig. And there's a check, interestingly, for a possible penalty, as we're having a look once again.
I don't think that should have stood as a penalty, though, but rightfully so. VAR didn't think it was.
Absolutely. The assistants in the video room have had a second look at it and have informed the El Salvadorian referee at the centre, that there's nothing to it really. Penalty check done. No penalty given. Muller can get it past Yuto Nagatomo. Once again, a throw for the full-time world champions, as we get also to have a look at the Japanese fans who are there in their great number, cheering their side. Here's Kimmich. Now Gnabry stands it up towards Kai Havertz. Misses Havertz, but Ram sets it up for Ilkay Gundogan. And in it's a clearance from Ko Itakura. All the way back to the feet of the Germans, who regroup once again. Kimmich. Sula forced to go back to Antonio Rudiger. Supporting him is Manuel Neuer, who finds Schlotterberg. Schlotterberg advancing forward. Gundogan on the turn. Finds Kimmich. Kimmich on the turn in return. Finds Niklas Sula. A little bit slow from the Germans.
Very slow. Very, very slow. There is no urgency. There's no sense of urgency from the Germans. And it's just been a drab day for the Diamond Shots.
Well, they have advanced into the area. Musiala looking to combine with Raum. Well read again by Hiroki Sakai. Has been kept really honest and busy down the right of his own defence and the left of the German attack. Schlotterberg. Rudiger. Schlotterberg once again. On the overlap. Gundogan. No options forward. Sula has it. Sula finds Havertz. Well, nearly falling for Tanaka at the midfield to push Japan on a counter-attack. But here the Germans come